someone getting sick, because that means they might have possibly infected other people, and then you need to shut down, retest everyone, make sure everyone's good, then kind of revamp without that person who got sick. So it was constantly being on our toes and hoping that didn't happen. And at the same time, we're filming in LA, which is one of the states that was hit the worst.
Yeah.
And there's various shows that film in LA around us that were being cancelled. So we come into work every day like, oh my god. And it's interesting because we started season 4 in February 2020, and
Like a
then
year ago.
exactly, and then we were filming, and we got to episode 4, and then we stopped, and then they were like, "Yo, come back in 2 weeks. We're just gonna deal with this little pandemic thing." Fast forward,
Yeah.
back to work until like October, November. So it really was a process for us actors. It was making sure that we were staying in character during that time and staying focused. For the various producers and writers, it was about seeing if how we could use this time constructively to make the show even greater than it was supposed to
Okay, that's good to hear. So if I'm not mistaken, is this the first time filming without John Singleton? Or he made it through the rest of the season 3, right?
John left us when we were around episode 9, season 3.
How was it filming without him, and then during the pandemic, this whole new season without his like his direct creative input?
Well, John interacted with everyone and developed a relationship with everyone, be it sound, actors, producers, the crew, makeup. Everyone loved John, and he loved everyone. So we definitely lost a special place of John Singleton as he left us. But the greatest thing is he left us all the codes to carry on, and he left us with the passion. John was like the most passionate person. Like he would run out if I did a good take and be like, "That's it. That's what I'm talking about." He was like a coach. Like if you're a basketballer and you just dunked, like he's like the coach that runs out, or like the players that are going like this. Like that's how John was. And it was difficult at the beginning without him, but then we all put our heads down, focused, and made it our sole aim to create art and put art into the universe that Singleton would be proud.
Exactly.
Exactly. And after watching season 4, I'm sure he's smiling down at us.
Oh yeah, I saw the screener. I'm trying not to spill too much tea during this advanced conversation, but the first 4 episodes were crazy. That's a different Franklin Saint than we're used to seeing from the other 3 seasons. Like Franklin's my favorite street entrepreneur. He's so tactical. Can you relate to that character in any way?
100%. Very recently, as I'm approaching 30, I've said to myself that the last decade of my life has been me experiencing life and walking through different rooms and being in different rooms and interacting with people, different cultures, different ideas, different dreams. And that's what Franklin is. He's able to operate in South Central, operate with Israelis, operate with the CIA, operate with all these people and fit in. So I think that's the biggest thing we have in common.
Let's talk about the best scene in the entire show. And you probably know what I'm talking about. The scene where Franklin humbled Leon in the car. Talking about
scene.
what was on your mind?
Someone else is tagging me in some sort of metaphor to do with that scene. So people don't even refer to it as Snowfall anymore. They use it with everything. Like if someone had a bad basketball game, or if someone had something bad happen to a rapper, or they always use Franklin in the car. That's beautiful, man. I feel like that scene's a part of pop culture now, pop history, and that scene has actually increased the popularity of the show. I know many people who said, "Yeah, I saw that brick by brick scene and I'm up then," So that's beautiful.
What was going through your mind while you guys were filming that? That was some good acting at that very moment.
Trying to go back to it, I remember we only did that take probably 3 times,
Okay.
and that was the least intense.
Oh, wow.
The other two, one of them, I was right in Leon's face, like this close, like after the take, he had to like wipe all the spit off, like, and I had told him before, like, hey, I'm this one. Like, I got you. And then after, he was like, damn, I know he's gonna go that hard, but it was. I knew we had done something special because after in the rehearsal, we was in the car obviously, and Liliana, our script supervisor, I heard her. She has the loudest voice. After we did the take, in between the take, she was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Oh, this might be a really good scene," and yeah, I guess it is.
No, that was the one. Anytime I try to convince anyone to watch Snowfall, that's the clip that I refer to. Season 3 ended off with Melanie avenging her father's death. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to come up at some point in season 4. And, I'm assuming that Franklin doesn't really blame her for her actions. But what is really going through his mind right now? Because Melanie is 100% a threat to his freedom, his empire, but it's Melanie that we're talking about here.
So Melody, the interesting thing about Melody's character is a lot of the viewers hate her, right?
Same.
A lot of the viewers hate her, but I think this season you're going to be torn. This whole season is with Franklin specifically is constructed with him trying to build back his spirit and prove to himself and everyone around him that he is the boss, he can take control, and he can save them from this turmoil. So Melody this season is a huge factor, which starts the snowball effect of that downfall. And I feel, just as a viewer and outside looking in, we need to understand that although Franklin is a character that we root for, there's also many things he does that are directly the reason why societies and communities are in the positions they're in today. And I think that's an ownership and responsibility that I definitely take, and that I can't wait for the viewer to take too.
After I attended that screening for season 3, the red carpet, the showrunner was there with you guys, and he described the show in a way that I never thought about it myself. He talks about Black history in America, and he talks about the crack epidemic being one of the many disturbances in Black history and how it's still affecting us to this day. And we don't even look at it that way. Like, I'm from Brooklyn, but whenever I go to Harlem, it looks like The Walking Dead.
Exactly. Singleton would always say, there's 3 major things that destroyed and set Black people back: slavery, Jim Crow. He threw heroin in there as well, but he said crack. Actually, there was a bunch of stuff. He said mass incarceration, but he said the only one that would make Black women leave their babies is crack cocaine. So that is a pandemic that needs to be respected. It needs to be seen as a health crisis.
Yeah.
Just like opioids are today, and not some criminal activity where only Black people do it, and so let's throw them away and never see them. And I think the show stays true to that. And I think the show speaks volumes to not only the 80s, but also what we're going through today.
Yeah, definitely. After watching the first 4 episodes, I was a little bit heartbroken because I kind of see that they're making Franklin like the enemy. Like, Franklin's trying his hardest, but more money, more problems. And it's a lot that he's dealing with while suppressing the things that he's internally battling as well while dealing with the external. So I don't want to spill too much because I do want this interview to come out before the premiere, but maybe you can join me on my Clubhouse conversation that I have scheduled on the night of.
Oh wow, yeah. Let's lock in with Ace and let's make that happen. That'll be really cool.
Yeah, let's set that up. So while you were relentlessly teasing the premiere of season 4 over the summer, you posted a video in character saying, "Don't compare us to none of them other shows." And I want to know, what show are you talking about? Because you guys only get compared to Power. So what show?
It's every show, man. Every show. I'm tired of people pitting stuff together. We could all be in our glory at the same time together. I watch Power, I love Power. I watched the Shy, I watched everything. But just because something is black based doesn't mean we need to be like, oh, all right, cool, this one's better than the rest, and let's trash everything else. There could be different levels to stuff, but I think we need to celebrate all of it together. So that's what I meant. It wasn't no shade. Amari's my guy, man. So I would never do that.
Now, of course, you guys both are holding it down for the East Coast and the West Coast.
Yeah.
Look at it like that. So around this time last year, you were in the Bahamas with Pop Smoke and crew, and he was recording Meet the Woo Part 2, and presumably some songs that were on his debut album. Did you guys get a chance to connect?
We did. I met Pop Smoke in Miami, and I was coming out of a function and he was coming in, and he was talking to the guy I was with, and a bunch of people were walking by like, "Hey, I love your stuff, man," but they were talking to him as if he's a secret, like he's this young up and comer that the world doesn't know about yet. Because I was like, why don't I know? And then I got educated on his journey, his music, and he was telling me he loves the show. And I was like, man, this guy reminds me of 50 Cent. and then when we went to the Bahamas, he was out there and he was teaching me how to do his dance. Yeah. And then the last time I saw him, he sat right beside me at the Louis Vuitton show in Paris, and we chopped it up there again. And I think we got a picture with each other. And he was just someone who was going to be so important to his community. And a true pillar of young music of that genre, and it's such a shame to have lost him at such a young age.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, as previously mentioned, but our mothers are also both from Panama. So Pop Smoke was definitely like something special, and you can see the music industry desperately trying to recreate that moment, but he was one in a million. So you featured his song Hello featuring A Boogie on your Spotify taste playlist. What made you choose that one out of all his songs?
I was in LA, right, and I went and got a loud car. I never do that. I got a G-Wagon, right? And the song was playing. Someone got in my car and played it, and my shoulders like couldn't stop. Like I just couldn't stop. Like, and then I saw the video, and I just saw the energy that he had when he performed that song, and in dedication to him, I wanted it to be on my top 50 spot.
Okay, that was dope. The entire drill subgenre has grown exponentially thanks to Pop after he joined forces with UK producer Axel Beats. And in Brooklyn, there's always like debate about who started it and who did it first. And regardless of who started it or not, Brooklyn has the spotlight right now thanks to just one person. So it's just a really divisive conversation. I wanted to know, is it like that with UK drill rappers? Because in my opinion, I think the genre started over there first before Chicago. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's interesting because drill is something that I only recently started listening to. I'm too
Don't tell me you're getting old already, Damson.
I'm telling you, man. Like, I'm listening to Sade and Nina Simone. Like, but my young G, Santan Dave, he's like my little brother, man. I love that guy, and He's always letting me know about what's popping. There's a guy called Heady One, who I love. I love his recent album. I always attach myself to artists who I know are going to be here forever. So the more I see people who have something to say and who aren't just about the moment or about longevity, is when I scream their name. So drill is something I'm just getting educated on. I don't know where it started, but best believe I'm going to support everyone.
Good to hear. Good to hear. So I am a TV movie junkie just as much as I love hip hop and R&B. And a lot of my favorite shows have lead British actors. Snowfall, For Life, P-Valley. And I personally do not have a problem with it, but everyone's a critic, and there are going to be those people who complain, like they probably felt like your role in Outside the Wire defending the US probably should have went to an American. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was fortunate, man, because when I got Snowfall, only a small group of people knew I was British, which is great because when you play the role, you don't want people looking at your character thinking, "Oh, that's Damson. I know everything about him." No, I was just a guy who happened to that no one knew, who was like, "Oh yeah, Franklin, the guy who played Frank. Yeah, he's from South Central LA." Like, so
I swear to God.
Yeah, so for 3 seasons, no one knew I was really British. A small collection of people did, and every time I met celebrities, be it YG or The Game or Snoop, Tyler the Creator, they would always say, "Yo, I thought you was from over here." So that let me know that the best guy always gets the part. This is with Snowfall specifically, it's a show that everyone auditioned for. I was probably the only British actor who auditioned for Snowfall. Many of my British
everyone like who?
I'm trying to remember who I tested with, but there was a lot of actors who are working today who auditioned for Snowfall 2, and a lot of non-actors who were just straight from South Central. But there was something that Singleton saw in me. Now, I understand the debate when you're being cast by someone who doesn't represent that story, and you two are not from there, and it's like, yo, what's going on? But when John Singleton says, "Hey,
John Singleton,
you to be Franklin," you get the cosign, man. And I haven't received any backlash since Snowfall. I'm very much a part of American history, a part of American culture. 29 now, and I've been in America since I was 23, so most of my adult life.
Wow.
In America. I've been on the front line speaking out about many of the issues to do with American history and what's going on, and I think that's why I'm able to get the cosign. But that regardless, acting is a form of expression. Acting is for the artist, and I genuinely believe the best person gets the part, whether it's Denzel playing Steve Biko in Crimson Tide, or Forrest Whitaker playing Idi Amin in Last King of Scotland.
Yeah,
best person always gets the part, and the more we celebrate and support one another, the greater we're all collectively going to be.
Exactly. I love the way you worded that. So your role in Outside the Wire is completely different from your role as Franklin Saint. How did you prepare for that role physically? Because you did a lot of action, a lot of movement in Outside the Wire.
The interesting thing about Outside the Wire is I wanted Hawk to be like a nerd. I wanted him to be a guy who sits on a chair all day eating gummy bears and not being physically fit or being this idea of a black guy in an action film. This is the first time we have two black leads working with robots. That's an interesting thing. That's something to celebrate. And I think Hawk's character is relatable to many people. and it lets us know that we don't all just have to be this cool, muscly guy who pulls the sunglasses off real slow and squints and looks to the side. To be the nerd that gets a stitch while he's running. I'm hoping to show Black people in all lights, and that's why Outside the Wire was special to me.
I have a friend who's also a journalist, and she spoke about the importance of Afrofuturism and Black people seeing themselves in the future. Because, you know, when we talk about like Greek mythology or certain time eras, you do not see any Black representation, as though we just weren't there. Yeah. So it's definitely important to see us like in a futuristic sense, or even being a nerd. You don't always have to be the Franklin Saint or Ghost.
That's what people wanted to see, though. I know.
Yeah.
Franklin and War, how come he ain't catching no bodies?
Right?
But yeah, we'll catch that in season 4.
I cannot wait until the other episodes. Hold on, because this working from home is getting ghetto. Hold on.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You just went slap someone in the face real quick?
I'm just like, do y'all know who I'm talking to? Come back. Come back, please. So you are definitely one of the heartthrobs of our generation. Can your fans expect to see you in a romance in the near future?
Wow, I don't know. I guess the universe has to bring that work to me. But I've been asking people, who do you see me working with in a romance? What other fellow actresses do you love that you think would be a good match for me in a movie?
Okay. Give me some time to think about that, and I'll have an answer during the Clubhouse chat room, because
there's got to be a lady equivalent who's an actress who you feel the consensus and everyone loves.
That right? Everyone loves, right? The thing with Black women is that you damn if you do, damn if you don't. Yeah. It's like they love us until they don't. It's weird.
I hear that, but hey, let's change that, man. I'd love to do one of those, and hopefully I can use my platform to help support a queen rise too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, because I am a queen over here. So what were you doing before you were acting? Because I would have thought that you spent way more time in the States than you did.
Wow, I was trying to be a footballer. My whole
soccer?
Life, sport, yeah, soccer.
Because I'm from Panama, so my mom says football and my dad says football. So I'm like, with your foot or with your hand?
That's hilarious. But it's true though. My whole life I was into sports, and that was my calling.
Wow.
So, you know, I really thought that. But then, yeah, man, acting really called me when I went to Brunel University to get my degree. I fell in love with the theoretical side of acting. So in my head, I was like, oh, I'll be a drama teacher. And then there was an actress who went back to get a degree in my class. Her name was Kathy Tyson. And Kathy Tyson said, hey, Damson, you're really good. You know, you should meet this writer. She's doing a play. You'll like it. Go meet her. Maybe you'll get the part. Who knows? And I went. I did the play. And then agents came, and they were like, yeah, we'd love to sign you. You remind me of a young Will Smith. I was like, I know Will Smith. Fresh Prince, right? I just started throwing all Will Smith's movies out. And then from there, the ball was in my court. You know, you keep your head down, you work hard, you prepare today for what you may need in 20 years. And that's exactly what I did. And as every opportunity came, I attacked it with the same mindset as an athlete would attack a game. So I was really fortunate to get those tools of football and be able to apply it to how I approach my work today.
Okay. Were there any roles that you auditioned for or turned down that turned out to be huge later?
Wow. I don't think my
career. I'm doing my homework. I'm trying.
There's a couple, man. I remember when I auditioned to play the role of Corey on Fences, to play Denzel's son.
Wow.
And I poured my heart into that audition. and I didn't get the part because they wanted to go with an American, and I was crushed, man. I was really crushed. But then the movie came out, and I was like, I probably would have ruined this. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles, you know. I think what's mine is mine, and what someone else's is someone else's.
Yeah.
The important thing is that I support it, and that's what I preach to all of my fellow actors. Just support everything, man. Just support everything. You will have no idea how good the karma and the energy is when you give good energy to something else. It really does help you flourish. It makes you a better person.
Yeah.
And it's the way I live, and it's working out so far. I'd like to think.
You seem like you were just raised right. Like, you were just raised properly. I imagine you were babied as well as the youngest of 6. And yeah. I saw an interview where you said your family pooled the money so you can make it to your second Snowfall audition. How important do you think having a supportive family is? Because a lot of Caribbean American people like myself, we don't really have the support from our parents because they weren't really allowed to dream. They had to worry about where their next meal was coming from or providing for their children. So they don't make the sacrifices they make for their children to be struggling creatives. So do you feel like it's so important for someone to have a supportive family or supportive home team in order to make it?
It's 50%, honestly. It's 50% of the job. It truly is. I'm going to say I'm lucky. I think that's the best way to put it, because I know of people who came up alone who did who changed the world, you know. So I definitely believe I'm lucky. I definitely believe I'm fortunate, privileged, and yeah, I can't stop preaching about support from peers, because even if your family doesn't support you, there's people who you're going to link up with who do what you do. And it's about supporting each other. And then before you know it, you'll all just rise together. It's like the way me and Daniel Kaluuya or Tosin Cole or Letitia Wright, like the way we support each other is so crazy. I don't know any other examples of that.
The best.
Yeah, I'm not talking about support. I see it in music all the time. I don't mean support personally. I mean public support, where I'm going to use my platform to bring as much light to you as possible because you have Judas and the Black Messiah coming out. And I'm going to use my platform to bring as much light to you because you have Snowfall coming out. That is insane. That's strong. Whether you have a family or not, that's a special thing. So I think it's just about finding those peers who you could fly with.
Yeah, I love seeing you guys together. And I love Black Boy Joy. When you guys all embrace each other and just be on carpets together, it's dope. So dope. Do you believe in zodiac signs?
I'm trying to get hip to it because everyone keeps teasing me about it. I'm a Virgo.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm lost. So you're one of the few people I've heard say, "Oh boy." Most of the time, that's a good thing. So how does it correlate? Why do you say "oh boy," but someone else will be like, "Ooh, Virgo"? like, let me know. Like, why?
Personally, for me, a Virgo broke my heart. So I just feel like, yeah, it's personal, but it's because of the way you guys move. Like, that self-centeredness, that tunnel vision, that focused tunnel vision that you would it doesn't matter how your actions make someone else feel. It's like your happiness is first. Am I on the nail or?
You are.
And that's fucked up. I'm sensitive. I'm an Aquarius, on the Pisces.
Wow. So what's the compatible person to that? Is it someone who's also self-centered and who is also chasing something and puts that above you? Is that what it is?
I don't know. The craziest thing is that they say Aquariuses are supposed to be compatible with them, but I do not think so. But I do have a lot of Virgos in my life, and they are my favorite people.
I hear that a lot too. I hear everyone's best friend is a Virgo.
Seriously, that's true.
Yeah.
So maybe not on a romantic tip.
I'm gonna do well. I'm gonna be a good example for
Please
hopefully
redeem them.
Yeah, exactly. Amy Idris Elba and Beyonce and Cat Williams will do a fine job.
You and Beyonce. You guys got it. You guys got it. So you're turning 30 this year, which is a milestone from where I'm from. If you can tell your 18-year-old self anything, what would you say?
Enjoy your moments.
Mm.
I would tell that guy to enjoy his moments because they come by so quickly when you're in the light, and you get so tunnel vision that you are constantly focusing on the next 5 years. And although there's some strength in that, you wouldn't be where you are today if you weren't constantly preparing. But at the same time, enjoy the moments because where you are now is the place that you used to look forward to.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I'm starting to learn as I approach 30. And I've lived a lot in this decade. And this next decade, I'm focusing on happiness. What doesn't make me happy, I'm not going to give my energy to. What's toxic, I have less patience for. I'm constantly looking for happiness. And I feel like that's what I'll tell my young self, to just strive for happiness and the joy of the present.
Man, you sound like you're fresh out of a relationship or something.
Wow.
You sounded fresh out of a relationship. But no, that is definitely the keys to life.
Yeah, exactly.
But I definitely my friend told me to ask you if you have a girlfriend.
Wow, your friend or
yeah, no, I told her I'll ask. I'm like, listen, sis, I don't know.
I don't have a girlfriend. I'm single. I'm single.
This is gonna be the teaser right here. Like, no, I don't have.
Oh my Lord. No. Don't do me like that. But I'm sure there's a special someone out there for me.
Of course. And before we head out, do you have any hidden talents that you'd like to share?
Wow. This is weird. I could down a drink really fast with no breaks. I don't even know if that's a talent.
Yeah, that requires breathing strategy.
Yeah, but it's the most boring thing ever. But apart from that, when I was in college, I used to sing like Usher Raymond, like a table full of girls. I'd literally do that once a week when I was in college, Richmond College. So sad. So maybe if that doesn't work out, maybe I'll drop some bad music.
It won't be bad. You have a good music taste according to the Spotify playlist. Yeah,
there'll be some saxophones involved.
Yeah, some real instruments. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed it. I look forward to having you join our Clubhouse conversation after.
Please reach
out. You don't have to be there after every episode. You can. You're invited, but the first one at least.
Yeah, definitely.
So, before we do head out too, can you give a shout out to my media company, 2B's TV?
Hey, what's up? This is Damson Idris, and you're locked into 2B's TV.
Thank you.
Bless you.
And who do I talk to again about the Clubhouse?
Ira.
Okay. Are you already on there?
I am. Yeah, I am. Okay. I'm on there quietly. I'm going into those rooms, seeing people throw their careers under the I'm playing.
No, seriously.
Hey, seriously.
I deleted the app. It was just too toxic, and I had I read and write a lot, so I can't stay in a room for hours or until the sun comes up. I can't.
Yeah.
But for Snowfall, I would.
Stayed on for long. When it first came out, I stayed on. Yeah, we're busy again.
Yeah. But thank you so much. I will be in talk with Ira about that, and I will send her the link when it's published on the source.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.